My name is James Rowlands, and in 2015 I started a WNR podcast with my friend
Dan White. And for 5 years we have brought you the very best of the network, but it's time for a change.
Now we don't just confine ourselves to Vinnie Mac, bring you AEW, Impact, NJPW and all the latest from the British wrestling scene.
But we will still bring you all our old favourites, including NXT Update, takeovers and live shows for the Big Four.
This year we will decide who is the greatest British wrestler in the world, plus so much more.
But until we watch everything, we are with you, and
we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And WNR266, it's NXT Takeover Blackpool 2. And we cannot wait after all the build-up and the live shows that we have done. We are going to start the event proper. Before we do anything, let's start with the alternate intro. And hey Jude, don't be afraid. They were made to go out and get him. The minute you let him under your skin, then you begin to making it better. And any time you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain, don't carry the world on your shoulder. It's a fool who plays it cool by making the world a little colder. And of course that is one of the greatest British exports of all time, the Beatles with Hey Jude. And talk about great British exports, we're going to see it here tonight at Takeover. Dan, are you looking forward to the event first and foremost?
I am looking forward to the event. Yeah, there's a few good matches that I'm more than looking forward to seeing, and hopefully the Volta and Joe Coffey match should be too hard hitting. Should be a huge hard hitting affair.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And of course we do the Prediction League, and it is our first takeover of the decade, and we have got the envelopes. And Dan, do you want to explain the Prediction League for everybody?
Yes, well we have three. We don't have 3 leagues anymore. We have 4 leagues now. We have an AEW pay-per-view league. We have a WWE pay-per-view league. We have an NXT pay-per-view league, and we have a bonus pay-per-view league as well. Obviously the recent addition of the AEW pay-per-view league, but we're going to be focusing on the NXT league, and we're starting with Takeover. Without
a doubt. And of course last year I won the year end, because of course we do year end predictions as well. We had all the points together and we get an overall winner of the entire pay-per-view, and last year that was me. And Dan, what t-shirt are you sporting now because of your loss?
I am. I have constantly worn this same t-shirt for a long time now, and it is Original Bro Matt Riddle, our most hated Superstar of the Year award winner.
Yeah, so let's get started with the action. We start off with Nigel McGuinness and Tom or Todd Phillips welcoming us to the Empress Ballroom in Blackpool, and of course it was just a year ago we had our very first takeover, and the action is starting quick because Trent Seven is coming out here for our opening matchup of the evening, of course going against the Welsh Dragon, Eddie Dennis. And Eddie Dennis has appeared at Takeover before, losing to Dave Mastiff, and Trent Seven came up short last year with Mustache Mountain. But as we get started with this, talk about build. And what are your thoughts on how this story's evolved?
I quite enjoy it. It is trainer versus trainee. I like these kind of stories. The trainee's got something to prove, and the trainer's like, well, I taught you everything you know, but not everything I know. Yeah. So, it's going to be a huge obstacle to overcome. I'm hoping that Trent Seven can do it, score one for the Huskier fellas.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. Speaking of that, let's start off with the very first prediction of the year. See how the year continues with us. It's me to go up first, and I in this match has gone for, well, like I said, I'm a fan of the Huskier fellow, so of course I've gone Trent Seven.
I too have gone for the Husky Mustache Mountain member, Trent Seven.
Yeah, I think Seven needs a victory. I think that is vital for him as the bell sounds. Dennis went for a boot. 7 powerbombs, and this could be it already. 2.
Oh, that would have been a quick point for the pair of us.
Yeah, I wouldn't minded that. Yeah, 7's kind of been the man in Mustache Mountain who's easier to beat, so to speak. And he hasn't had that many big victories. I think 7 wins tonight. It'll be great for him as he hits a DDT on Dennis. And Dennis doesn't know what's hit him to start off.
Yeah, well, Trent Seven's come running out for this match. He knows Eddie Dennis's weakness, I suppose. You know, it's what he hasn't taught him yet. And he has got to knock Eddie down a few pegs.
I think Dennis managed to get under Trent Seven's legs.
Razor's edge.
Slam Seven down. And Eddie Dennis, this is a huge night for the young man from Wales. If he can get the job done, Trent just found the power of Eddie. But if you talk about keys to victory, I think Dennis, he's got to try and put Seven away quickly. And it was a surprise to see Trent actually try that. As Dennis with a forearm now just grabs the arm.
But would an Eddie Dennis victory kind of start propelling him up the pecking order?
I think without doubt. I think a victory here tonight is a huge kind of momentum swing for Dennis. Like I said, he suffered injuries in the past. He's come up short, and they're trying to build up. I mean, his look for me is not the most aesthetically pleasing, shall we say? And even for quite a big guy, he's not a lot of muscle mass, I think.
No, he's more tall than a big guy. He looks like he should be part of the Jungle Boy crew on AEW with that outfit he's wearing. But, you know, he is kind of representing the Welsh, and, you know, he's kind of got like dragon scales on it. He's got a big dragon on his leg. Yeah. Not a fan of green, personally.
No, neither am I. But like you said, it could be a huge night here for Wales as well. Because if you've got Mandrews, Flash Morgan Webster fighting for the championship, it could be a huge night for Scotland as well. If Gallus can be all the home nations kind of represented here, and like I said, England's own Trent Seven facing an uphill battle against Dennis.
As he gets suplexed after Dennis has weathered the storm and he's kind of getting his way back into this match.
Would you count Trent Seven as a veteran?
I wouldn't, no, even though he's probably one of the oldest members on the roster. But, you know, don't get me wrong, he is a veteran on NXT UK. You know, he was on the very first episode and he's kind of been there or thereabouts, you know, plus or minus a couple of injuries here and there. And, you know, I'd see him in the back as one of the locker room leaders as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you with that. As Seven fights back with chops, looks for the DDT, but Dennis had it blocked.
So what do you reckon this could do for Mustache Mountain if, say, one of them gets the victory and the other one doesn't? Like, say, if Trent gets the victory and Tyler Bate comes up short?
I think... Ooh, oh, my God. Trent Seven, suicide dive to Dennis.
Explode a suplex on the outside.
Throws him back in. I think this could be tough, you know, for Mustache Mountain. As I said, they were expected to win the tag team titles a year ago, came up short. Since then, they've not had that much success, and they've kind of been used as stepping stones by people like Eddie Dennis and Jordan Devlin.
Oh.
Seven came off the top there.
Yeah, corkscrew senton, but just unsuccessful.
And how's Dennis looking to get his breath back? You would think the weight difference is not that much. Like I said, you know, Dennis is just that... He's got basketball frame.
Well, so is Trent Seven, just the shape of a basketball.
Well, he went for the clothesline, got blocked, goes for it again.
It's cool.
And Dennis there, nice tilt-a-well slam. Goes for the cover, but no, Trent managing to kick out.
I'm not sure what to make of Eddie Dennis at the moment.
I'm not. There's nothing I'm seeing that, you know...
We've not seen elsewhere.
Exactly.
You know, with Trent Seven, it seems like he's the one leading this match. He's the one, you know, he's the shot caller in this match. And I think, you know, with good wrestlers, it's normally 50-50.
I think he's a bit like Baron Corbin, but without the personality, if you know what I mean, just with the moveset.
Baron Corbin hasn't got a personality, though.
Well, he's picking up Trent Seven.
Looking for the outsider's edge again, but no, Trent Seven with a ripcord clothesline gets ducked, and Eddie Dennis with a huge elbow to the jaw drops Trent.
And now looking for a suplex, but no, Trent managing to reverse it into a slam.
Oh, really high cover, but no, only a 2 count.
2. And Seven now trying to build a little bit of fans behind him. We talk about this, if they're successful or not. There's no doubt they're the most popular probably act in NXT UK are Mustache Mountain.
Absolutely. Well, you know, they're a really happy-go-lucky kind of tag team. You know, you need one of them in pretty much every division.
And now he's looking for the burning hammer. He's 7, but Dennis holding on to the top rope.
Manages to get deposited to the outside. Ducks a clothesline from Trent. Eddie with a huge forearm. Now looking to expose the turnbuckle. Oh, a proper heel there. A proper heel. The old turnbuckle expose.
Oh, you can hear him booing his 7 there with a shot. And stopping Dennis now looking for maybe the superplex.
Oh, and a turnbuckle pad has fallen off in the melee.
Now 7 all the way up with Eddie Dennis.
Oh, straight into a cover. But no, Dennis managing to kick out.
Oh, Eddie Dennis must have been at least 10 feet in the air.
At least 12 foot up.
They came crashing down. Now Trent Seven trying to seize this moment.
And it obviously hurt inside.
Trying to finish him off now, looking for the clothesline.
No, Dennis grabs hold of the top turnbuckle, sends Trent face first into the exposed ring.
Oh my God, and the referee realising Seven slumps down. And Dennis saying, no, I didn't mean to do that.
Who's headed that turnbuckle
Bloody
post?
hell, whose Coke is that Pepsi? Whose shoes are those chinas? And the fans chanting VAR. Maybe we shouldn't choose that.
That's why I love the British crowd.
Oh, wait a minute, and he looks like a powerbomb, and referee saying, no, not into the turnbuckle.
Well, yeah, he's got him up for the outsider's edge. I think he's going to hit it regardless of whether the referee's...
Oh!
Jesus!
My God!
Throws Trent Seven onto the back of one of the sound engineers or something.
Holy shit, and Trent Seven's in trouble. Gets thrown in, was folded up like an accordion, goes for the cover.
1, 2, no! Trent getting the shoulder up at 2. And the fans in the front row with their moustaches. The crowd now realises maybe Trent's still in this. Well, he certainly is out on his feet. And in fact, it's suplex perhaps. Next stop, driver. And that is it for Trent Seven.
Wow, that was disappointing,
It
wasn't
was very disappointing. I'm not too keen on the heel Eddie Dennis.
No.
He's got some very innovative moves, and his finishes certainly is one of a kind. But when I'm seeing matches from trainer against trainee, I like to see him as a bit of respect between the two. And when the trainee does eventually, overcome the trainer, the trainer is, he's gracious in defeat. Shake of the hands, a raise of the hand, or kind of a passing of the torch and a respect. But to get the victory like this, you want to hope that Trent Seven gets his way back into this.
Yeah, I mean, it was they told the story of the match, didn't they, with the corner and with a power bomb to the outside and stuff. But I think for me, did this need to be on Takeover? Is this a match that really kind of lit things up and kind of went a different level? For me, it's not in a way. I feel like this is a disappointing way to start Takeover as well, especially with Dennis beating Seven. I mean, irrespective of where we went prediction-wise, I still think this match is kind of started things off.
Well, this could have been different. This could have been a showcase of what Trent Seven can do, and Trent Seven getting the victory, and Eddie Dennis, they could have gone for a show of respect, and then Eddie comes into this and says, no, I'm not going down like this. Hits a low blow, hits an elbow, or does something devious, and then it goes into this match that we've seen.
Yeah, I think that would be fair to say. So, all right, we prediction point wise after that, both of us start the year off with nil points.
So we have scored no points this year.
This year, so far in 2020, we have not got a point right. So we'll see what happens as we carry on. Of course, it's been a huge January so far. We've brought you Wrestle Kingdom for now with Takeover Blackpool, and we've still got so much to come as well with Royal Rumble, Takeover Portland, and of course AEW in the end of February, as we see Gallus getting ready for a big night for them. But up next, Dan,
it is the women's triple threat match: Kaylee Ray, Toni Storm, and Piper Niven.
Yeah, and this should be an absolute cracker. We talk about the build up to this match. This has been a very basic story told. Brilliant. We talked about it a lot on the live pre-show. Just about, these three women have been friends throughout the majority of their career, and they came to NXT UK at the same time. But it seems like gold has kind of got between the three of them, hasn't it? With Piper Niven, Toni Storm, and Kaylee Ray.
This is about Kaylee Ray getting the shock upset victory over Toni Storm. Toni Storm going away for a little while. So in Tony's absence, Piper Niven's kind of stepped up to the plate and says, I want a match with you. And Toni Storm's come back and says, look, no disrespect, Piper, but I've got dibs on this title match. I want to go for it. And then, there's been a bit of friction between Piper Niven and Toni Storm as well. Is this going to kind of impact their friendship? We don't know.
Is Kaylee Ray the ultimate opportunist, as we see now? She knows she's got a problem with Toni Storm. She knows she's got a problem with Piper Niven. Has she got into both women's heads and turned them against each other? Is this like kind of ultimate mastermind on her part?
Well, it could be a good bit of mind games from Kaylee Ray, kind of, taking herself out of the limelight. focusing it on Toni Storm and Piper Niven, so then them two take each other out. Kaylee Ray can slip in and get the quick victory.
Yeah, what I like about it as well is very, very simple. You know, Niven's never had the gold before. Storm says she doesn't care about friendship. She just needs the championship back. That's all that means to her. And Kaylee Ray said there's no way Toni Storm's got another opportunity, and there's no way Piper Niven will ever have the championship belt. So all three women have got a point to prove. Are we surprised it's the second match on the card rather than the co-main event like normal Takeover women matches?
I don't know, because on some pay-per-view cards you get the title match starting off, like the Raw title match starting off, and then the SmackDown title to be the main event, or vice versa. So, to put this match on first probably would have been more acceptable.
Well, I don't know about you, but out of all the matches that are on the cards, I think this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. I think it would be fair. So I think the ladder match is going to be amazing, but I think the women's title match, that's the one that kind of piques my interest the most, because it's one that it could go any way conceivably,
Absolutely, yeah. There's one way I'd like it to go, and that's back into the hands of Toni Storm. I'm sure you'd like it to go to Piper Niven.
I love Piper. I've said Piper Niven was dominant. Love it if she would win the championship. Well, speaking of predictions, Dan, who have you gone for then in this matchup?
Well, James, I told you who I'd like to see it in the hands of. And I've not gone for her, I've gone for Piper Niven.
You've gone Niven, and I've gone Kaylee Ray in this matchup. So why Piper Niven then?
I think this would set up... I think Kaylee Ray was kind of a bit of a transitional champion, and I'd like to see the Toni Storm Piper Niven storyline kind of take front and centre as opposed to Kaylee Ray versus such and such.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, it is great to see Toni Storm back, and she's been a huge part of NXT UK. Of course, your pick in the Mae Young Classic, but I think she can make it, all the way, so to speak, because of the kind of look and that. We've been so impressed with Toni Storm these past couple of years, haven't we,
Yeah, who's that woman that used to dress quite similar? She was on the main roster, going back probably about 5. She's kind of a punk rocker. Ashley. Yeah, she's got the look of her, but Ashley's got none of the talent that Toni Storm has.
Well, Ashley, of course, passed away last year, didn't she? So, of course, she will be missed. And Toni Storm, of course, I always get confused. I don't want to upset people. I've used the New Zealander or the Australian. I've got to finish she's Australian. As, of course, we know the Glaswegian Piper Niven coming out here. And, of course, she is desperate for the World Championship here tonight. And, of course, she suffered her own things. Of course, Lionheart, a very close personal friend, dying recently. And, of course, Bell's palsy diagnosis that we've spoken about as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not a nice thing for anyone to go through, losing such a respected friend and having your own kind of medical conditions. But, she's keeping her head in the game and she's staying focused and she's got her eyes on the prize. Or do you reckon this is going to distract her from her eventual goal of getting the victory here?
I think the eventual thing down the line will be a Niven-Kaylee Ray match where Niven wins decisively. I think that's part of the reason why I've gone Kaylee Ray. Triple threat match is always a great way for a champion to get out without, under weird circumstances, so to speak. So I think that would be interesting to see what happens. But what I like about it is all three women have got different backstories. They have got stories. You talk about even wrestlers on the main roster, and we were not really... With these three women, like Kaylee Ray, the veteran of the sports, came in, no one gave her a chance, she's proved them really wrong. These three women have got great stories to tell, haven't they,
Absolutely, yeah. So, we know our thoughts on Kaylee Ray, we know our thoughts on on Toni Storm and Piper Niven, but what about Kaylee Ray? Where do we stand? Because I'm still unsure about her.
I think she's kind of one of the most underrated talents that we've seen in quite a while. She is a veteran of the sport, there is no doubt. She's kept British women's wrestling alive for many a year, of course, with ICW alongside Piper Niven, or kind of around the UK. You've seen a World of Sport as well as the women's champion. She's been there and done that. She came to NXT UK, and I've got to say to you as well, she shocked me and the world when she won the women's championship, but there's no doubt she's talented. Is she on the last bit of her career? Yes. And I think, like you said, not a transitional champion, but I think the idea in the end will be Kaylee Ray drop it to Piper Niven. But we'll see how she wrestles in this one. There's no doubt she's a great talent, but with a heel she can wrestle a bit differently than the normal faces can, can't they?
Absolutely, yeah. So what other women do you see coming up through the ranks then? Because we can't see Toni Storm, Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray fighting over the championship.
Well, wouldn't it be great if they fought over together and they can't even get through the introductions about the fight starting off and Kaylee Ray going to the outside. Niven maybe looking to put Storm away early and see Storm and Niven competing against each other. But like I said, I think the future's bright for NXT UK. You know, when you got people like Zaya Brookside who we've not seen maybe in a little while. Fucking hell.
And we never saw Kaylee Ray again. Piper Niven with a suicide dive through the second and bottom rope and just completely obliterating Kaylee Ray and then going for a cannonball on Toni Storm. One for Kaylee Ray, who was perched up against the steel steps.
Well, I got a feeling Piper Niven might actually be able to pull this one off tonight as she's just taken off Kaylee Ray, taken out Kaylee Ray and Toni Storm. And Niven has started strong.
Oh no, Kaylee Ray back into it, pulls Piper Niven off the apron, sends her head first into it and down to the mats below. And now Toni Storm focusing over and frustration on Kaylee Ray, trying to get back that oh my God. Trying to get back that title, and then Piper Niven comes in with a running senton and just squashes them both.
Well, no, that could be it, but no, Kaylee Ray gets shoulder up at 2.
And I don't like people comparing Piper Niven to Nia Jax or Tamina Snuka. I think she is leagues and leagues above them.
I think Niven wrestles the same as a Toni Storm or Kaylee Ray in a weird way, but obviously she's got a little bit of weight to her, you know. I think that is the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, people obviously see a bigger person and they just kind of automatically assume she's a Nia Jax or Snuka.
But she's more like a Kevin Owens.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely, yeah. She's the female Kevin Owens. Yeah.
And Toni Storm now just stomping on Niven and Kaylee Ray. And she might be looking to put Kaylee Ray away. That's not easy to say. Looking for Storm Zero.
No, Piper Niven with a running crossbody flattens Toni Storm.
And Kaylee Ray with a super kick just taking Niven out. And that was huge impact. Now going after Storm. And we've not seen... It's been all 3 women so far in this matchup. There's not been a chance. Usually with triple threat matches you see, especially in WWE, maybe outside. This has not been the case. And Storm released German suplex on Kaylee Ray. And these women have fought all around the world.
Kaylee Ray with a lovely kick-off tornado DDT. Both women down. Goes for the cover on Toni Storm, but Piper Niven just rolls over to break up the count.
And Kaylee Ray getting a little bit frustrated. You talk about the maybe the 3 best women in NXT UK.
No, I received a tweet saying that Piper Niven doesn't wear fishnet, she wears whale nets.
Oh, really?
Can you confirm or deny that?
I cannot deny that. What I can say, though, is that with these 3 women, you know, you look about success afterwards, not just NXT UK, you look at the last NXT UK Women's Champion in Rhea Ripley, and look what she accomplished in NXT. And you would think maybe with Toni Storm, and thinking, well, hang on a minute, if we're successful here, we can go to America and, you know, become champion. As Kaylee Ray looking to try to gory bomb Niven, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, Niven turns it around, but Kaylee Ray with a backslide sends Niven into Storm.
And Storm with a shot to Kaylee Ray. And
looking for a German, but no, Niven gets out of that. Kaylee Ray with a super kick, then Storm with a German off of that. And now Ray with a face buster suplex. Turns our attentions back to Storm.
And she made a mistake there going after Niven, and Niven hit the back suplex.
All 3 women are down. So who's, if, you know, your prediction is correct and Kaylee Ray does get the victory, who's she more likely to get the pinfall over? Because she's already got one over Toni Storm. Will it be one over Niven to even things up?
Might be. You know, I think that might be interesting, exactly how it goes down.
Because I believe if Kaylee Ray's not the victor, then she's going to be the one eating the pinfall.
Yeah, I think without doubt, you know. But I think at this moment in time, Niven and Storm just staring at each other. And they're both trading these former friends. And they fought all over the world together, like I said, in Japan and now in England. And Kaylee Ray looking to take the advantage of choking Toni Storm out.
I find it quite daunting that something that Piper Niven wears on her elbow/bicep is something that fits around Kaylee Ray's leg.
Kaylee Ray now, where is she going? Maybe she doesn't think she can beat them fair and square.
She's going to get herself a chair. And British Steel is factually stronger than America.
And the referee saying, come on. But Kaylee Ray now just choking Toni Storm out with a chair. Well, there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match. And Kaylee Ray showing her vicious side here, choking out Niven as well.
Well, I think with Kaylee Ray, it's any means necessary. Piper Niven's got the power Toni Storm's got the strength and Kaylee Ray's not got a lot.
Well, Kaylee Ray's definitely got the mean streak and she wants to continue being NXT UK Women's Champion, and she's got the chair around Toni Storm's neck.
No, not this.
And this can't be good. She's not going to do this, surely.
Don't call me Shirley. But no, Piper Niven in to save them.
Well, did Niven have to do that? I think she did it for a friend there. She didn't have to save Toni Storm, but that would have maybe ended her career. Now it's Toni Storm with a chair.
Will she return the favour for Piper Niven, or will she say thanks, but no thanks?
No, if I was looking at you, Dan, in the championship match with a chair in my hand, I would do.
Do it.
And Niven saying to Storm, do it. Does Storm want to beat her fair and square, or does she want to beat her with a chair? Look at Kaylee Ray looking on. Maybe she's orchestrated this entire thing.
Well, she's taking a Tommaso Ciampa role at the moment and just orchestrating her puppets. Toni Storm throws the chair down.
Oh!
And both women turn their attentions to Kaylee Ray.
And maybe they realise Kaylee Ray. As here comes Storm to the outside.
Oh, sends her back first into barricade.
Oh my God.
And Piper Niven's got Kaylee in her sights.
She's on the apron.
Oh! Cannonball off the apron.
And all three women down on the outside.
God. Kaylee Ray did hit that mat as well.
Now Toni Storm sending Kaylee Ray in.
But Niven saying, no, I'm going to pick these bones, thank you very much. As Kaylee Ray comes off the top.
Oh!
Takes both women out. I think Toni Storm, back of her head, hit barricade.
The legs of Kaylee Ray came down there as well. But the NXT UK Women's Champion taking a risk. High risk, high reward. Oof. Well, Kaylee Ray might be in pain, but she's fighting through it. And she throws Toni Storm in. Looks to put her away. No, Toni Storm with a headbutt. And now the forearm fighting with everything she's got.
Oh no, Piper Niven coming in to disrupt the superplex attempt. Got Toni Storm up in a powerbomb. Sit out powerbomb.
Going for the cover, but Kaylee Ray off the top.
Oh, sent on to Storm.
And now going for a Hurricane Runner on Niven.
But Niven just shaking it off and delivers a huge thunderous powerbomb.
And now this is Piper Niven's chance. She's going for it. Piper driver.
1, 2, 4. James, I was that close to getting the first point of the year.
I know, but Kaylee Ray managing to kick out. And she's still in this match. And the fans with a dual chance. Let's go Piper. As Kaylee Ray struggling to get out of harm's way. And this could be it. We might be just moments away from a new NXT UK Women's Champion.
Another Piper driver attempt, but no, backslide by Kaylee Ray.
Oh my! Hit the gory bomb on Niven. 1, 2.
No! Instead of breaking up the pin attempt, she grabs the referee's arm and Toni Storm keeps herself and Piper Niven in this match.
Well, how close was that there? Kaylee Raylo taking out Toni Storm with a suicide dive. And now she's going to go for maybe a Canadian Destroyer or something, but Niven reverses. Oh!
Jesus Christ!
What the fuck was that?
Well, Toni Storm kicking Piper Niven away.
Oh no, Storm!
Storm 0.
Hits it.
1, 2. Oh! Piper Niven at the last conceivable moment breaks up the pin attempt.
Oh, and the fans were on their feet. Toni Storm was the women's champion. How close was that? I don't know what Niven did there.
Jesus Christ. And Toni Storm's just booting away as we see the picture-in-picture replay.
And Storm cannot believe it and now beating down on Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven. Well, how close can you come? Storm says she needs this. She's going to put Kaylee Ray away. Let's go for a Storm 0 on Niven.
Oh, that's one way to do it. Who's she going to pin? Well, now she's turning her attentions to Piper Niven. Storm 0 on her.
God. She can't. No, Niven trying to fight it.
It's a pedigree instead. 1, 2, no. Piper Niven managing to kick out. And this move pedigree, we've seen it in the past and it's kept wrestlers down for about 20 to 30 seconds.
At least 40 seconds. As Toni Storm now going up top. Going to risk it all. Frog splash.
Kaylee Ray with a super kick.
Goes for the
1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
Oh dear.
Kaylee Ray somehow escapes as NXT UK Women's Champion.
Well, that's how you'd expect Kaylee Ray to get the victory if she was to pick the bones of someone else.
And you got to say fair play to her. But what a match that was between all three women. I thought it was really, really good stuff. All three women are top talents. I think Kaylee Ray definitely brought it along with the other two there. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely, yeah. She brought her heelish side and, bringing it so on and so forth, and the way she got the victory as well. Yeah, all three women absolutely performed brilliantly. I like the close calls. And, it wasn't like they were sat there waiting for spots either. There was obviously the moment with pinfalls and that where Toni Storm was waiting outside. But, aside from that, it was a good free-flowing match.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I think, the all three women definitely showed the top talent. Katie walking away as champ, but there's no doubt I think she's still going to have Storm and Niven in her future as well. But great things and great way, that's the proper way to start a takeover. And of course, means points as well. I do get the first point of the decade. Yeah!
Well done, you are the dickhead point winner. Decade, my bad.
So 1-0, but still with 3 matches to go, and there's only one person happy with me, and that's Kaylee Ray in the gold.
So next, Jordan Devilin, Tyler Bate. Backstage, we see Imperium there getting ready for their respective matches, and we cut to ringside, and the Kiwi Buzzsaw is in attendance. Travis Banks. Well, up next, we've got a match 3 years in the making, going back to the inaugural United Kingdom Championship match, where Tyler Bate managed to overcome Jordan Devlin, and, well, we all know that Bate went on to get the victory and become the first ever United Kingdom Championship holder. So again, these two guys, both veterans of the game.
I think when it's weird, Bate, who feels like he's been around for so long, is only like 21, 22 years old. And the same with Jordan Devlin, of course, learning under the tutelage of Finn Balor, still quite a young man. I think, talk about veterans, I think these two are the future of NXT UK. I don't know what you think.
Absolutely, yeah. Despite neither of us being that hot on Jordan Devlin, you can't deny that he can absolutely bring it in the ring. He's got a lot of talent. I think Devlin, though, is that he feels he's a bit bigger than his boots. And, that's only going off personal experiences, seeing him at the independent event that we saw him at. And, that's when James had to change his underwear after he met Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan was a really nice guy. Jordan Devlin probably wasn't. But Tyler Bate, like I said, Moustache Mountain has not had a great night here tonight. Does he need a victory for Moustache Mountain to be a success, or could Moustache Mountain be in trouble? Could British Strong Style be coming to an end in NXT UK, where Pete Dunne not around, Trent Seven losing? If Bate was to lose this, will Devlin prove that he is a better, brighter, bigger star than Tyler Bate?
I don't know. I think this would just be like kind of the equaliser from when Tyler Bate beat Jordan Devlin. This match, where can it go? Because Tyler Bate has already had a title match, as has Jordan Devlin. So, neither of them are in serious title contendership. Moustache Mountain, the tag team, could they be, joining forces again to take on whoever wins the UK Tag Team Championship ladder match? I think that would probably be the best idea for them.
It'd be interesting to see what happens. As Tyler Bate came up short against Volta at the last takeover. Tonight, he's got a point to prove as well that he is not a loser. Would you say he's a number one good guy on NXT UK?
Yes, I would, yeah.
I think I would as well. I think there's definitely a connection with the fans. There's a respect there as well. It seemed like they've seen him grow up.
He is like the Daniel Bryan of NXT UK.
I think that would be fair to say. There is.
And sorry to interrupt, and if and when he ever makes a heel turn, it's going to be the biggest shock of the century.
I think without doubt. I think I can't even imagine Bate as a heel. Look how friendly he is. There's a respect from the fans to Tyler Bate that you can definitely see.
See, and look, an absolute gentleman posing for selfies with the fans on his way to the ring. I mean, how can you not love this bloke?
Without a shadow of a doubt, and here he comes rolling his way in the ring. And at the moment it's 1-0, but this could all change in this match prediction-wise. It's me to go, and in this one, well, do I think there's going to be a shock? No, I don't. I've gone Tyler Bate in this match.
I've too gone for Young.
Why is Bate going to get the win here tonight then?
I think with him, he's despite coming up short on championship matches, I think he is still a strong force to be reckoned with, and it goes to show in NXT UK. This man is guaranteed to be either an NXT champion, not the UK version, NXT champion, or WWE or Universal champion in the next few years. I think the man has that capability to be able to do that.
Wow.
He's still so young in his career. That man is guaranteed to be a heavyweight champion.
Wow, that is a big boast for Tyler Bate, our big strong boy. But with the Irish Ace find success here in NXT UK, or of course on the main roster, there's no doubt this might be his biggest one-on-one match that he's had. He says he can beat Walter if he was to face him off. Bate's been there and done that. Now both men are looking to fight off. And then William Regal, of course, NXT general manager, said with these two men, you might be looking at a match of the year candidate as well. Tyler Bate, Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin, Tyler Bate. And the fans 100% behind Tyler Bate.
Absolutely. Well, this should be an absolute barn burner of a match, though. We know that Tyler Bate can go. We know that Jordan Devlin can go.
So what's Jordan Devlin got to do if he wants to upset the odds, if keys to victory wise, what's Devlin got to try and do in this match to beat Bate?
I think Jordan Devlin's got to turn to the dark side, but with the trend of past couple of matches, we've seen Eddie Dennis go to beat Trent Seven. We've seen Kaylee Ray go to the dark side to beat Tony Storm and Piper Niven. So I think this one, it's going to be just trying to use his skill.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think it's due for a good guy to win a match. So maybe it's Bate's time. But Devlin, I think, wants to prove that he can out-wrestle Bate. He can match him up in different variants. You know, there's like a different skill set that Devlin could do. He wants to prove that he is actually the best wrestler. And I think he's going to try and prove that to Tyler Bate. And Devlin might be shocked because, you know, there's no doubt he believes he's as good as he says he is. But I think with Tyler Bate, he's just that little bit better.
Absolutely, I agree with that. So Tyler Bate, I said he could be a world champion in a few years' time. What about Jordan Devlin?
I think these guys are so small as well, aren't they? You know, let's not forget about that. It's going to be difficult to see if Vince McMahon can get behind them on the main roster. I think it's Triple H in charge. I think there's no doubt these two men might have quite a successful future, but I think it all depends, really, you know?
Well, these two guys kind of one-upmanship each other, you know, both going for moves, both getting countered. Tyler went for the bait and switch, but with his huge bonce. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying about if Triple H has his say, then these two guys, the sky's the limit. I think with Jordan Devlin, if and when he does get onto the main roster, he's going to be involved in such a long feud with Finn Balor, everyone's going to get bored of it.
Yeah, Devlin will probably create a new character as well, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Like, you know, to go against the demon.
The Swede. He comes out dressed as a big head.
And look at the power of Bate.
Tyler Bate with a huge military press on Devlin. Throws him across the ring. Jordan unable to recover, but Bate, as soon as he gets to his feet, he drop kicks Devlin over the top rope and eliminates him from the Royal Rumble. Talking of the Royal Rumble, these two guys with a surprise appearance.
I'd love to see Tyler Bate in the Royal Rumble. I think that'd be fantastic if he'd come out. Devlin, though, managing to stop Bate from flying that time.
Oh, lovely reverse springboard over the top rope into a cover, but only a 2 count.
2. Now Devlin gets back, and you got to think, is Tyler Bate 100% after the match that he's had against Walter? He took such a beating in that one. And so did Trent Seven. You got to wonder if the Mustache Mountain have really recovered since then. But the crowd cheering for Devlin and Bate. Devlin has got his fans, so it might be a little bit of a surprise. And Devlin with the back suplex goes for the cover. Bate managed to get the shoulder up at 2.
2.
And Devlin now just choking Bate in that second rope.
Well, normally with matches, you know, they're going to be quite long because they start out on a slow pace. But this one, it's kind of started out on a rather high pace.
Well, yeah, but now it's just been this recent time. Devlin finally got a little bit of control. Managed to just butterfly suplex Tyler Bate and now mocking him.
That's one big mustache to cover that mooey.
And Devlin now maybe getting under the skin of Tyler Bate and the fans.
Well, that's heel 101-manship for you there, mocking your opponent's taunt manoeuvre, so to speak. Now he's just got the arm of Tyler Bate and kicking him in the face, but I think that's just pissing off the small guy.
Oh, wait a minute, and they're trying to back suplex him, but Bate holding on. And a huge Irish whip by Bate to Devlin sends him to the outside. Now Bate trying to build some momentum. And he flies over the top. Doesn't touch that top rope. Takes out Devlin. Throws him in. Maybe looking to finish it. Get the job done.
Well, Tyler Bate looks like he's starting to run out of steam. But a big, strong boy can always muster up a bit of power from somewhere.
There comes Tyler Bate off the top.
A huge cross body, but Jordan Devilin turns it into a kind of like a side code breaker.
Well, goes for the cover. Bate gets the shoulder up at 2.
2. Oh, knees into the ribs.
Well, at the moment, you might say Devlin's just one step ahead of Tyler Bate.
The fans are still backing them.
Devlin just working the lower back of Bate now.
Throwing Tyler Bate into the ropes and a huge elbow to the back. Dropping the weight onto the back of Bate and now just stomping on his neck. Yee. You're a fucking idiot.
And now Devlin looking to just hurt Tyler Bate.
Oh, Bate trying to block what Devlin can offer. Oh, surfboard stretch. I like it when they flick him off as well. Oh, Jesus. He's released the arms and he's just wrenching back on the neck of Tyler Bate. He's in all sorts of shapes and just throws him off. Tyler Bate is certainly trying to... Jordan Devlin is certainly trying to torture Tyler Bate and silence the crowd and his critiques along with it.
I think Jordan Devlin's, like I said, trying to show that he belongs in a ring with Tyler Bate. He's as good as he says he is in a victory tonight. You know, it's all well and good dominating Tyler Bate. No offence to Bate. The majority of his matches, you know, apart from maybe the match of the year against Pete Dunne where it's kind of back and forth, most of the time Bate is the one getting beaten up and comes out in the end. But Devlin has been impressive, but Bate can turn it up.
Oh!
And there you go.
Well, you like seeing dual moves, James. You haven't seen one thus far, but we see a dual cross body as both men was running the ropes.
And that just shows the thinking of each man as well.
Well, we've got worlds collide soon, but this is bodies collide.
And now Devlin struggling to get up, but he's the first man up.
Tyler Bate struggling, but he's also on his feet as well.
Goes for the kick and gets caught with a knee by Bate. And an uppercut sending Devlin back to the corner. Comes running in with the uppercut now to the other side, but Devlin launches himself at Bate, but Bates with his strength and just tosses Devlin over his shoulder.
Can he nip up? Oh, makes his way to his feet. Well, fake out, running shooting star into the cover, but only a 2.
2. Now Bate to his feet comes running in, but Devlin manages to move out the way. Or tries jumping in, but Bates caught him. Turns it round now.
Taking Devlin for a spin.
Devlin going round and round. Must have been gone round about 10 times now.
At least 25 times.
Was making me dizzy the way he's spinning round.
But isn't this move kind of affecting yourself as doing it to him? Because you're spinning just as much.
I without doubt. And he's still spinning him. And he sped up.
Oh, and just froze Devlin. Takes himself to the corner to recover for a bit. Can barely walk straight.
He is a big, strong boy. Now he's going to pick up Devlin.
Oh, brainbuster suplex. 1, 2, no. So I like the way he follows it up with that, because like he's spinning him around, sending all the blood to his huge bonce, and then drops him on it as well. You know, so he's kind of blood flow to it, and then just pow.
Exactly, discombobulated, not sure where he is at this moment in time, but did manage to get the shoulder up at 2.
2.
And Tyler Bate definitely feeling it, but looking to finish this match now.
Looking for the Tyler driver. No, Devlin gets out of it into a pin attempt, but the way Devlin was, his legs was under the shoulders of Tyler Bate.
Well, both men trading pins, and now Bate got caught, and Devlin there with a suplex. Turned Bate inside out, goes for the cover, but no, Bate.
No, Bate managing to kick out.
Oh. And Devlin now might be getting a little bit frustrated, but it's not easy to put down Tyler Bate. We consider the only 2 men who I can remember got a pinfall victory over him, like Walter and Pete Dunne. Definitely says something about the man.
Absolutely, yeah. The Irish Ace versus the big, strong boy.
And you see Devlin trying to get his bearings again.
Bearings, sponsored by Zeng for all your bearing needs.
As Bates in the corner now in trouble.
Devlin comes charging towards, sends him over the top rope, but Devlin just bounces back into it in stunner. But Bate very wisely rolling to the outside.
Well, now Bate is in serious trouble. Devlin, can he capitalise?
Oh, looking for a cutter again on the outside. Both men fall in a heap to the mats below.
Referee counting, and well, we didn't think about this. What about if it ends in count out?
They won't do that to us, will they? Surely.
Well, don't call me Shirley, but if they do, the fans won't be happy.
I won't be happy.
Referee 7-8.
Jordan Devlin kick to the face of Tyler Bate.
9, and Bate's going to be counted out.
No, just as a referee was about to put his hands up for 10. Tyler Bate makes it under the bottom rope and just dives into the ring. And he's shaking his head saying, no, that's not how it's going down.
And Bate with a forearm, and then with Devlin.
Both men trading stiff shots in the middle of the ring.
Oh.
Straight right from Devlin.
And both men now just trading huge shots.
Some fist fight in the ring now.
Which way is this going to go? And Devlin is still trading, credit to him.
The Bate's getting the upper hand.
Oh, working the midsection, but Devlin dodges it.
Looking for the bait and switch, but Devlin catching him with a right, sending him to the ropes. And Tyler Bate responding with a heel kick.
Oh no, went for the Tyler driver, but Devlin used his massive head.
Flips Bate over. He responds with the Bate bounce off the ropes into a Spanish fly. And then with his back on the mat, does the bait and switch like the Undertaker. But Devlin responds with a huge headbutt of his own. A huge head butt.
And what a great exchange then between these two men. And it always seems to happen in Tyler Bate matches. There's always a kind of stretch or a period during it where it is just magic. And even then between him and Devlin.
Oh yeah, the fans are chanting, "Are you watching Vince McMahon?" I mean, and he probably isn't.
No.
Because it's not Roman Reigns, damn it.
But they were definitely two talented men. This is what NXT UK is all about. It's Devlin looking to put Bate away.
Well, it's not only NXT UK, James. It is British wrestling at its best.
And Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
And now Devlin looking to go up top.
I mean, you look at the likes of Finn Balor, Becky Lynch, Sheamus, and Jordan Devlin.
Yep. And
probably knows them.
Exactly. Nothing to do with British wrestling. As
Nah.
Bate now looking to put away Jordan Devlin, the very first NXT UK champion.
Very precarious position, but Jordan Devlin's got himself back into this match. He's got Tyler Bate round the throat. Both men struggling on the top turnbuckle. Spinning around. A Spanish fly off the top. Devlin picks him up. Side suplex.
1, 2, no! Bate somehow still in this match managed to kick out. Unbelievable stuff there. And now look at Devlin with the stomps and the kicks to Bate's face. The fans chanting, "This is awesome," as Devlin looking to put away Tyler Bate and prove that he belongs.
Does the bait and switch to Tyler.
And what a slap to the face that was, or punch to the face, so it was. Well, look for the Tyler driver on Bate, but Bate reversing.
Oh, Devlin trying to send him to the outside. Tyler Bate lands on the ropes and just headbutts Jordan Devlin. I think he hurt himself as much as he hurt his opponent.
Now what can Bate do as he looks to springboard his way back in?
Oh, springboards into a DDT. Bate just fired himself up. Tyler driver to... No! Devlin managing to kick out. Tyler just springs onto the top turnbuckle.
Oh my God. Corkscrew splash, goes for the cover on Devlin.
3.
Gets the job done. Well, the Tyler driver wasn't enough, but Bate capitalised. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
My thoughts just want to go back to that last Tyler Bate. Normally when they don't get pins, they complain to the referee for a few seconds. Tyler just sprung up, literally threw himself on that top turnbuckle, got up and finished the match that way. You know, not complaining, not worrying about the hand he was dealt. But this match, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Jordan Devlin brought it. Tyler Bate certainly brought it. You can see the intense rivalry these two guys have. And seeing another match between these two down the line, I wouldn't complain one bit.
Yeah, without a shadow of it, was like a near 20-minute match. And it didn't feel out of place. And Bate, I think, is the right man to win this one. And hopefully find himself back on top of the NXT UK mountain. So prediction-wise as well, it means we both get a point. So you get your first point of the decade, Dan.
Woohoo!
And it is 2-1 now overall after the third match, with 2 still to go, and we've just seen some highlights from that match, and there was incredible chemistry between these two men.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Jordan Devlin's good, but he's not as good as Tyler Bate.
No, Bate is, every time I see him, he just looks better and better as well, which is incredible when you think about it. Like I said, taking advantage of that after getting it so close and getting the job done. Devlin's upset, But he proved he can go with Bate tonight.
So what's next for Tyler Bate then? Well, Triple H is there. He's watching, clapping in the royal box.
Alongside Regal and, of course, the NXT UK General Manager Johnny Saint. Maybe number one contendership next for Tyler Bate. Was this a number one contendership match, do you reckon? With Bate coming out on top, will he face the winner of Joe Coffey and Walter?
Possibly. But, with Triple H there, is he trying to scout him for NXT?
And finally, a face wins here in Blackpool. Well, Trench 7 came up short, but at least Mustache Mountain got a victory. And Tyler Bate, in the place he became the first NXT UK champion, is celebrating with a crowd here in the Empress Ballroom.
So can Tyler Bate has enough ballroom?
He's in great shape, is Tyler Bate.
Absolutely.
20 minutes.
You going to order so it turns up for the break, or going to have...
Yeah, fag Bate, order it. Well, and up next it is the Tag Team Championship ladder match. We've got the champions Gallus versus...
Imperium, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Barthel.
Versus Morgan Flash Webster and Mandrews.
Versus the Grizzled Young Vets, Zach Gibson and James Drake. James, that's
James
the name that
Drake,
you forgot last time.
I always forget James Drake. And it's been interesting. Are these the 4 best tag teams in NXT UK?
Absolutely.
I think, yeah.
Excluding Mustache Mountain.
Yeah, I think we'll shout out that this should be an awesome match. You look forward to this?
I am really looking forward to this. Yeah, it should be a hard-hitting affair. All 4 of these teams has got a viable excuse to be in this match and to be in contention for the titles.
I did enjoy the match. It was Gallus versus Mandrews and Webster.
Yeah.
And then all hell broke loose. Sid Scala and Johnny Saint came down, took the titles and said that the next time you'll see these titles will be from the ring, looking up, and it's going to be a ladder match
for the 4 teams.
So out of the 4 teams then, Dan, who do you think is the best tag team out of these 4?
I do really like the Grizzled Young Vets. I think, they bring something a lot different. Gallus, not sure really. I would like to have seen Mark and Joe Coffey as a tag team from that. Imperium, I think these kind of going to be an evolving tag team. They're going to be someone in a year or so. They're going to be absolutely unstoppable, especially Eichner and Barthel. I think they've got a lot of talent. And Mandrews, I think he's very, very entertaining. They need a midway title for him. I think he'll be perfect holding that. And Morgan Webster Flash, I don't know, the jury's still out on him.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. They've been a good tag team recently, but they're not a proper tag team, are they? And I think the same with Gallus as well. Wolfgang's a great talent, but for me, it doesn't still feel like a proper tag team. Grizzled Young Vets are a team who have kind of gone under the radar. With the amount of heel teams, we kind of need another couple of babyface teams. And with Mustache Mountain not teaming up, I think we're missing a little bit on that side there. But I think when you talk about future, there's no like and Barthel will definitely find success on the main roster in years to come as well, won't they?
Absolutely, yeah. So Gallus heels, Imperium heels, Grizzled Young Vets heels, Mandrew and Webster faces.
Yeah, I know. We need more face teams. There's not Mustache Mountain here. Who would you pick if you had to pick a babyface tag team in WWE or anywhere to come to NXT UK and challenge one of the heel teams? Who would it be?
Heavy Machinery.
Heavy Machinery would be fucking awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, imagine that against Gallus or someone, a tag team like this. We'll talk about this. Prediction-wise, Dan, it's my go for this, and I have gone for in this match for new tag team champions, and it's Imperium. Imperium. I feel they're going to be dominant by the end of the night.
Well, James, I have not gone for Imperium. I have gone for and new tag team champions, Webster Flash Morgan and Mandrews.
Wow, what have you gone them for?
I don't know. Just did. No, I think they didn't really get a chance with the titles. They was kind of really short time champions, transitional champions. I think with these, they can use their speed and kind of like athletic ability. Haven't used that word.
No, we haven't used that in ages.
I think using that they can certainly overcome these bigger guys.
I mean, without doubt. And as we see, the champions coming out first with Gallus, and here comes Flash Morgan Webster. Mandrews dressed in the purple. The purple-headed Warriors here tonight, looking for action. Of course, Gallus in green.
So Webster and Andrews looking more like a tag team?
Yeah, they're trying to, and they're wearing purple in favour of their hometown in Wales. And here comes Zach Gibson and
James
Drake. How can I forget James Drake? They come out here, Grizzled Young Vets. The very first NXT UK Tag Team Champions. It's a championship that has changed more times than any other last year.
So why have you gone with Imperium?
I feel they're going to be the dominant team on NXT, and especially when we look towards Wales Collide, we know it's going to be Undisputed versus Imperium. We know that the Undisputed era have got all the gold, and I think we might see the same for Imperium. I know NXT UK hasn't got a secondary championship, but I still feel Eichner and Barthel, if you're going to have a heel tag team in NXT UK, have Imperium. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
They are the best heel tag team, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, if it was just Barthel and Eichner, then I don't think there'd be a strong force. But because they've aligned themselves with Walter and Alexander Wolf, I think that's kind of put them up a bit.
I think I've no doubt they will hold gold by the end of the year here in NXT UK. And they've got a very bright future ahead of them. And what a huge couple of matches it is for Imperium now. Of course, the next one in our main event, the NXT UK Championship. They're coming out last as well.
You don't even need lads titles.
Imperium.
All of these in this ring, who's your favourite?
What, singular?
Singular.
Mandrews. What about you?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, Mandrews.
I think he's the most talented.
I do like a bit of Zach Gibson, though.
Yeah, Zach Gibson, I think could work well as a single star. I think the same as Mandrews. I think everybody else kind of needs a tag team at this moment in time. Maybe Eichner and Barthel later on, but right now,
Yeah.
So here we go, all four teams going at it right away.
And they're certainly starting off on fire, baby.
Oh my God, and the action will be thick and fast in this one. As we've got Grizzled Young Vets and Webster and Andrews in there.
South Wales subculture.
Easy for you to say. And they're all fighting each other now, inside and out. And of course, ladder matches are very, very simple.
Climb the ladder, retrieve the titles, keep the titles.
And see the High Flyers do great bumps, hopefully. And already they are dominating the ring. Here come Grizzled Young Vets.
They are working together well on Webster Morgan Flash. Whisper in the wind. Patrick.
Well, whatever it was effective as the Grizzled Young Veterans. Middle of the ring now. But here comes Mark Coffey.
To break up the party, Wolfgang follows him. I was just about to say, I wonder when the action's going to calm down and I wait for the tags, but there is no tags. This is just a fucking all-out melee, battle, war, whatever you want to call it.
Well, anything goes here. It's Imperium now. Golden Mark Coffey.
Spinebuster followed up with a kick.
And each team has held the middle of the ring safe as Flash Morgan Webster's back in.
Lovely Hurricane Rana. Sends Bartel to the outside. Mandrew's working on Eichner. Heads to his takedown.
Now gets hold of Webster. Suplexes his own partner.
And then standing moonsault.
And now dropkick off the top.
Takes out Martel Barthel. Turn their attentions to Grizzled Young Vets, but they come unstuck.
Oh, now Grizzled Young Vets is looking underneath the ring.
Well, Drake looking to bring a ladder into the equation, but Zach Gibson says, no, mate. Take a chair.
And now they've both got chairs. And maybe going to try to do concertos or double chairs a la Edge and Christian.
A la Edge and Christian.
They do take out the Welshman and then they take out Imperium.
But Wolfgang comes in with a spear on Gibson. Coffee in. Slams James Drake down.
Well, Drake in all sorts of trouble. Trio Woe in the corner.
Oh, shit.
And he's got the chairs against his face.
Oh, well, Imperium there to save the day of the Grizzled Young Vets. Oh, no, doing it themselves. That's a variation of the concerto we haven't seen. Both coming in with sliding drop kicks.
And it just shows you the agility of both men as well.
And now we finally get a ladder brought into this. Oh no, Mandrews and Webster sailing over the top rope, take out Imperium.
Well, the action is just non-stop at the moment as they've got the ladder now. Bring it in. Well, we've seen chairs and ladders. They're set up and Mandrews having a look as Webster goes up, but Imperium just too much. They take him out and now it's just these two men and this is it. Both men climbing. Maybe that wasn't the best idea in the world as Gallus take both men off the ladder.
Oh no, we've got two ladders in. Is that a bigger ladder?
That looks a slightly bigger one.
Well, Gallus certainly aren't mucking about here.
And Wolfgang's got a ladder.
And the fans want tables.
He says it into Barthel.
Barthel using the ladder to block Wolfgang. Now Coffee setting the ladder up. Oh, I thought he was going to get used against him, but no.
Webster Morgan flashes in.
The back elbow, and he flips off.
Wow, jumps off the ladder. Moonsault. But gets taken out by Eichner, who charges him with an elbow. Looking to Irish whip him into the ladder. No. Webster stops himself. Gets sent in between the ladder and the turnbuckle. The ladder gets drop kicked into him.
And now the slingshot, the move that doesn't work in real life, sends Webster head first into the ladder. And now Imperium keeping their mat sacred by posing in the centre of the ring.
Well, you say no team really been that dominant, but maybe Imperium have had the advantage. But still, it's anyone's guess who's going to win this one.
Looking to turn our attentions to Webster, who slides underneath the ladder attack from Imperium. Hits both with Pele kicks.
Oh, that is beautiful by Mandrews, and he grabs the ladder.
Grizzled young vets are in, sending Mandrews back first into the corner. Gibson holding him up as Drake comes flying in with a drop kick. Lands on the ladder, hurt himself quite a bit by the looks of things. Gibson's like, go on, get up, do it again.
You do it again, son.
Oh, Gallus are back in though. Take out James Drake. Gibson hasn't noticed his partner's out. He has now.
Oh, Mark Coffey catching Gibson.
Oh, choke slam onto the ladder.
And now Wolfgang catches him, Jake, in a slingshot and sends him Samoan drop onto the ladder. Sickening impact there. And then with a Samoan drop as well.
Well, Gallus have got the ladder set up. Wolfgang and Mark Coffey are climbing it. But Imperium in to shut them down. Looking to climb the ladders for themselves, but get dragged out of the ring. Thrown into the steel steps.
And now no one can see, but Mandrews and Webster climbing the ladder. Gallus find them.
And look to punish them, but Wolfgang DT. Now Mark Coffey gets a clubbing blow in on Webster. Fucking hell, Mandrews with a moonsault off the ladder.
Well, he had a chance to climb, but he wanted to hurt instead.
Very agile from Mandrews.
Oh, now Bath. But the Welshman are there.
Oh yeah, they take him out off the ladder. But Barthel's fighting back as best he can.
He managed to catch himself there. Now he sets up the ladder. He's got Webster trying to send him on it. Oh my God, and he does. And that might not be it though.
Oh no, Eichner and Barthel look like they've got some this fucking hell double springboard moonsault onto Webster, who was strewn across the ladder. Who was perched up on the second rope.
And that's why I went Imperium for, because they could do shit like that.
I would never have fucking expected him to do that.
Eichner there flying across, and that might be it for Webster.
Oh dear. That's half of my team out.
Your team. The trouble, you need this, Dan.
Oh, I do need this to keep me in the game. I can't lose the first pay-per-view point of the year.
Of the decade.
Of the millennium.
And now Imperium again, double climbing the ladder, which might not be a great idea.
But grizzled young vets are in. They've got a ladder in hand. Taking out Eichner and Barthel. Look at the size of this one, James. He's got a huge one in his hands.
And now they're setting it up.
I mean, James hasn't had a big one in his hands in years. Have you, James?
And Gibson now trying to climb both ladders for stability. But here come Gallus.
Well, something crazy is going to go down very shortly. I can feel it in my waters.
Well, Wolfgang climbing. Now Mark Coffey trying to figure out the best angle to get to.
It is all about the angle of the dangle.
And here we go. Mandrews has put the ladder in between another one. And now you've got Gallus, Grizzled Young Veteran up there. And now Mandrews climbing precariously. And you've got every man up there apart from Flash Morgan Webster.
It looks like he's making his way there now.
Here he comes. You've got 7 men reaching for the gold.
He's not setting the ladder up, he's just laying it against the back of... Is that Gibson?
Zach Gibson's back is helping Webster climb. Oh! Well, there goes Eichner and Mark Coffey flying down. Oh my God, this is not looking good.
There goes Barthel. Mandrews still stays up.
Wolfgang goes flying down thanks to James Drake.
So it is just Drake, Gibson, Mandrews and Webster left on the ladders.
And Webster, did he got it?
Webster's gone, Gibson's down. Drake and Mandrews left standing.
My God, it's just metal mayhem now.
5 ladders in the ring.
And
I don't think I've seen that many ladders in the ring.
Drake finally drops. Gibson's got hold of Andrews' leg. Oh, now Gibson catches him though. And it hits a ticket to ride. And can Drake climb the contraption to get to the championship gold? And I don't think he's climbing. Oh my God. Went for the 450 off the ladder.
Jesus Christ. It's like Gibson don't know what to make of it. Gibson trying to get Drake up to get the belts. He's saying, come on, look, nearly there now. You've taken out the opponents. Let's get it on.
Well, Gibson's double on the climb. He don't want to take that risk, does he? Up there. And now he's got Drake on his shoulders as he's climbing up. And the Grizzly Young Vets look at the climb. 2-time champs. Oh, no, wait a minute. Eichner grabs hold of Gibson, sends him to the outside. Drake got him. Here comes Barthel in.
Oh, the uppercut powerbomb.
And what a match this has been. And Barthel now making the match sacred by getting rid of the ladders. And now Imperium's just got the 1 in there after the 5. Look at the climb. Become tag team champions. Come on, Imperium.
No, come on, Gallus. That's it. Push him off.
You want anybody to win apart from Imperium now, don't you?
Pretty much, yeah. It'd be a bonus if Webster and Mandrews won.
Well, you need it to get back in the game. But Gallus looking to retain. And Eichner's in all sorts of trouble.
A con ladder toe.
And both men just squashing him. And again. Oh.
Now one for Barthel.
And Mark Coffey get rid of the ladder. And now it's just Gallus. And Gallus as a tag team have got raw potential as Mark sends Wolfgang into the power slam super kick combination. Drake taken down. I don't mind Gallus as a tag team, but I don't know if they're faces. But here comes Mark, sent over by Wolfgang.
No bloody way.
And now Wolfgang picking up Eichner. And he slams him onto the entranceway. And now all the teams are down on the outside. And now Gallus looking down. Morgan Flash Webster and Mandrews.
Pulls them up onto the edge of the ring apron. Bring them both in the hard way, but they both turn it round to Stun Dog Millionaires.
And Gallus are down. This might be a chance.
Well, Webster and Mandrews need a ladder. They need to go up to get them titles to give me a point.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I don't mind anybody winning now, apart from Flash Morgan Webster. Look at the size of this one.
That is a huge. It's taking both of them to handle that big one.
Well, I've not seen a bigger one in the ring yet. And they set it up in Gallus now.
Haven't you had a bigger one in your ring?
No, honestly, I've not seen the size of that one as Gallus grab hold of one end. Flash Morgan Webster and Mandrews fighting with the other. It's set up on the outside now. And here come Gallus to take him down.
Coffey sends Mandrews into barricade. Wolfgang does the same to Webster Morgan Flash.
And now Wolfgang's got the tables and the fans wanted it earlier. And it looks like Gallus are delivering instead. So we've seen chairs, ladders, and now tables. And now Mark just setting up the table across the ring and barricade.
Wolfgang's done the same on his side. Oh dear.
Well, this doesn't look good for your team, Dan.
Oh dear.
They're in serious trouble.
Come on, Imperium, take the bullet, go through the tables.
Oh my God, Wolfgang. Got Webster, Mark. Got Mandrews.
Yes, they ducked it. Delivered dual headbutts.
Oh no. Well, Webster just collapsed the table with Mark Coffey on. Well, it's not going to change your plans. Looks like Webster Morgan Flash going up to the top. And is this a good idea in this type of match? And Mandrews is going up with Webster.
Oh, shit.
Why are they both going up the same side? Well, fans chanting, please don't die. This doesn't look good for both men. Oh! Oh, my Christ.
Dual senton bombs. Mandrews looks like he's in a very fucking bad way. Well, not as bad as Wolfgang.
Wolfgang is out. But I think Mandrews and Flash Morgan Webster are as well. Oh, my God. And Wolfgang just got flattened.
Wolfgang is now dead. That is past.
Oh, yeah, it's sticking out. And they're in trouble. But they're back to their feet. And now they got the ladder. Or can Webster and Andrews deliver the championships? I hope not. But after that sickening move to the outside, they're the only tag team left standing. Come on, Imperium, where are you? And now they're setting up.
Come on, boys, climb it! Climb it!
No, where are you? Someone, anybody.
Nobody.
Well, this is their chance.
Come on, get it. Get. Oh,
finally, James Drake. It's that Gibson coming, Grizzly Young Vets. Oh, thank goodness for that. They got the ladder right to the spine of Mandrews, sending him out. Picking out Webster. And maybe it's the Grizzly Young Vets time. The Welshman trying to fight, but just got nothing left. And now looking to double team Webster. Oh my God, and the stairs out there. Looks like, honestly, looks like a crash on the motorway here on the M25 with the ladders and stairs, tables, chairs, and men at ringside down. And Mandrews struggling to get to his feet as Drake's climbing.
Imperium have been awfully quiet for a little while. And Zach Gibson's protecting James Drake as he's climbing up the ladder, but Mandrews has got himself a Singapore cane.
And Gibson begging not to be hit with a kendo stick.
Well, that doesn't wash with Mandrews. He's going crazy. Turns his attentions to James Drake, who's halfway up the ladder. He's busted the kendo stick. Climb, Mandrews, climb, boy!
And this could be their chance.
Come on. Get up, Get on up.
Here comes Mandrews.
Oh.
Yes, my boys, the Imperium lot. And Barthel's got Mandrews onto Eichner.
Brainbuster suplex. Mandrews is dead.
And here we go. It's Imperium's time. Barthel climbs, looking to get the gold. And he's got the fingertips. He's champ.
Yes, Joe. Mark.
No.
Suplex him into that ladder.
Don't you
He deserves it.
Barthel holding on.
Take him out. Take the ladder with him.
And Eichner's grabbing hold of the ladder to try and keep momentum. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Eichner saves Barthel. He tried to German suplex him. Barthel still up top. And Eichner now. Oh, my God. Eichner's got the powerbomb on Mark Coffey. Barthel manoeuvring around. And look where they're positioned.
Oh, no. Escape from Mark. Wolfgang. Fuck.
Oh, my God.
He just snapped a metal ladder in half.
Wolfgang takes out Eichner. Barthel trying to skip to the belts. Come on,
Come
son.
on, Mark. That's it. Push him off. Good night, Barthel.
Oh, my God. Barthel falls on Webster Morgan Flash, Grizzled Young Vets, and Mandrews, and it's Gallus who are up.
Fingertips away. No.
No, don't.
Not like this. There's one. There's two.
Oh, my God. And Gallus are still your tag team champions. Unbelievable. So I'm not happy about the result. Anybody but Gallus. But unbelievable stuff. What an absolute car wreck of a match that was. I mean, is it fair to say that is an early match of the year contender there with all four teams put on the line?
Absolutely, yeah, and all four teams brung it here. There was a bit of a fudge up with the ladder. I think they was going to go for stereo senton bombs, but they kind of redeemed themselves by doing it both on to Wolfgang.
Yeah, what they did was even worse than what they were originally. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah, but it's just their way to improvise, and you're going for a really tough match. And they managed to improvise, adapt, and overcome. No,
it's unbelievable. Like I said, we saw tables breaking. We saw ladders getting speared through, chairs used, kendo sticks and stairs. And everybody put it all on the line. And Gallus come out on top somehow in this match. But you talk about tag team divisions around the world. NXT UK have got a tag team division to be proud of, especially with these four teams. Unbelievable stuff with Gallus managing to retain. I don't know how can they follow this possibly. What's next for the tag teams involved, do you reckon?
Well, the other three tag teams that was unsuccessful, I think they all deserved their rights to be called number one contender for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I think without a doubt. I think it'd be interesting to see how they go about it. Obviously, Gallus are still your champions. And does that mean, is that a message? Is that a good thing tonight for Joe Coffey, considering that Gallus have just come out and beat Imperium? What about if the unthinkable was to happen and Joe Coffey walks out as United Kingdom champion?
Well, that hadn't even crossed my mind, but you bringing that up, I mean, we was talking about Era having all the gold and Imperium possibly having all the gold to go and challenge Undisputed Era. But what if Gallus said, look, we've got all the gold now.
Yeah.
We challenge Undisputed Era. You're not worthy.
And it makes more sense because the three-man team holding the three championships that matter. And I can't believe Gallus come out on top. And fair play to Gallus, Wolfgang and Mark Coffey. And like I said, everybody in that match put forward a tremendous effort. And that is unbelievable stuff, I mean, if we're going to compare it to what we've seen already this year with New Japan, I don't think the setting is as spectacular as we have seen before. But it's kind of more intimate, which I like. But you can't argue with that match being as good as anything we saw at Wrestle Kingdom. Absolutely not,
no. Does this compare to other great ladder matches that we've seen in the past?
I think it does, when we look at the TLC, this felt like a TLC match, didn't it? Like we've seen before. These four teams took it to an extra level and we saw stuff in this match that we hadn't seen before. So it's got to be then.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was extraordinary, this matchup, and it does you could put this up there with the TLC triple threat matches, I believe.
Yeah.
That match has trounced pretty much anything that WWE pay-per-views delivered last year.
Without a doubt. And, let's hope the action can continue because NXT UK will be wrestling NXT at Worlds Collide 2020. We'll bring it live weekend. And, of course, not only have we got Imperium versus the Undisputed Era, but also announced Finn Balor versus Ilya Dragunov, which should be a really interesting matchup. And that should be saying that, we talked about Dragunov and someone like Balor at Worlds Collide will be interesting. Of course, we'll bring you more news. And, of course, we'll be live for that. And then the following night as well, the Royal Rumble, as always. And we'll be discussing if it is indeed the best night of the year in WWE. But it's been Blackpool, but it's not over yet. Believe it or not, there is still one match to come.
Oh, Ridge Holland is in the crowd, James.
Well, that means business. We've seen Ridge a couple of times in NXT UK. And will he be at the next Takeover? We're not sure when it will be. Just quickly, talk about Takeover. When would you want the next UK Takeover to take place? Because it was August until the last one last time.
I'd say June.
June time. How many Takeovers do you want to see this year? UK one. I wouldn't mind 3 or 4.
I wouldn't mind 3 or 4. I think 3 or 4 is a good shout. Again, going in the same stead that NXT is. But, obviously that's kind of taken out the fact that NXT did appear at Survivor Series last year and, they've got their odd moments and bits and pieces here and there. But 3 or 4, I think that's a good start for the UK.
Yeah, I think without a doubt it would be a shame if we have to wait until August. Like I say, we don't have to wait that long because we've got Worlds Collide next weekend. Just clear up the points quickly. It is still 2-1. Neither of us got to score. So in our last match, Dan, to get a draw, you will have to hope you've gone different to me. And our main event for the NXT UK Championship is Joe Coffey challenging the undefeated, the unstoppable Volta.
Come on, Joe.
So, Dan, what have you thought of the build-up to this main event match?
I think it's been good. I'm not sure that Joe Coffey is a viable challenger for the title, but, I didn't think Devlin would be, and he's managed to go toe-to-toe. 2 big guys. I'm not 100% sure what they can deliver. And as far as all the matches go, I think this is kind of the one that I have least faith in. So it's normally the one that's actually going to deliver better than any other match I've seen tonight.
I think without a doubt, I think it's an interesting story because Walter has been dominant, beating a man who held it for 700 plus days in Pete Dunne. But the man who came closest before him was Joe Coffey at last year's Blackpool. It's weird that last year was Joe Coffey's biggest match and he came up short. People forget about it now because of the debut of Walton. We've asked with Imperium, are they the most dominant group? And Gallus, especially after that last match as well now, proving that they deserve to be held as equal. Is Joe Coffey a legitimate threat? Could he not beat Pete Dunne, yet he could beat everybody else? I mean, that is the interesting thing, isn't it? Maybe Dunne was the man he couldn't beat, and Walton's the guy he can.
Well, that is a very valid point. I mean, with Joe Coffey, Pete Dunne could have been his bogeyman, and he's not coming to get you. But I don't know. I really don't know with Joe Coffey. I'm not 100% sold on him being a viable challenger. Well, he has to put in an amazing performance against Volta, even if he comes up short.
Well, he's not. We think of him as a big man, but Walter still does. Is still the bigger man, and that and. Like I said, they have got bad blood, and Coffey needs to put in. This is more, I think, tonight, like you say, about putting in performance and kind of getting the job done. So, Dan, in prediction-wise, who have you gone for in this match to finish us off?
Well, James, so aptly you say it should finish us off because it's going to finish me off. I've gone for Volta. And unless you've gone for Joe Coffey, which I could actually bet all my marbles that you haven't gone for him, you have claimed the first pay-per-view point of the year, nay, decade.
Well, Dan, I have gone for still NXT UK champion Walter. So, like you say, no matter what happens, I've got the pay-per-view win. So let's just sit back and try and enjoy it. Even though Joe Coffey has alienated maybe a few people recently by saying he will bring the title back to a certain football club stadium to celebrate, and you can see him coming out in his green and white now. And for me, I don't think there's anything I like more than Volta putting a stop to it here tonight. There's no doubt Gallus continue being tag team champions, but after tonight, Walter puts Joe Coffey down. That is the end of Joe Coffey as a main event talent.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's come up short against Pete Dunne, and if he comes up short against Walter, but who's going to be the challenger? Who?
Drew McIntyre is the only man at the moment who can beat Walter. British. If we look at a British guy, I'll put my money on maybe the next time Walter faces someone might be Tyler Bate again. But I would love to see Pete Dunne at some point back. Because I think his treatment in NXT has not been
James,
great.
No, this is how it would go down. Walter triumphs over Joe Coffey. Pete Dunne comes in the same way that Walter did. And as Joe Coffey gets back in the ring, bang, Pete Dunne puts him down with a big boot. We ain't done yet, mate.
That could be we don't know what to expect, especially Takeover, as we wait for the entrance of this man. And here comes the NXT UK champion. He has been a dominant champion since winning it. We asked the question, could he be more as dominant as Pete Dunne? And sometimes I feel he's more dominant. Would that be fair to say for Walter as UK champion compared to Pete Dunne?
Well, with Pete Dunne, I think the thing, we kind of saw with him that he was beatable. But, coming to Walter, he is not beatable. But I don't want to see another Pete Dunne style reign with a different character. I want to see, a couple of changes. Because, throughout the, near 3 years that this title's been around, 3 holders.
Yeah, I know, which
I
is
mean,
incredible.
Does that make it more prestigious, or does that...
I think I'd say it's prestigious, because when you think about what it takes to hold a title, it's not willy-nilly or anything like that. You talk about 3 guys who are incredible stars. You put those 3 against any other 3, Walter, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, and you've got an incredible, tag team there. And
it goes from small, medium to large.
Yeah.
So the person who's going to beat him is going to be the fucking Great Khali or something, isn't it?
Well, Walter, I thought Joe Coffey was big, but Walter does tower over Joe. But it is main event time. Walter's made his entrance, and now we're getting introductions. But keys to victory with Joe Coffey, he's just got to bring it. He, like I said, he's got to have the performance of a lifetime and be able to, which no man has actually done before in NXT UK.
He needs a fucking miracle, is what he needs. And obviously, if Gallus and Imperium have actually recovered enough from their match that took place, not 10 minutes ago, I don't think there'll be a deciding factor in this match.
No, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see what happens if that does break down. But you got to wonder with Joe Coffey if he's thinking to himself, maybe I could beat him one-on-one. But just the size difference between it is quite scary. I thought Joe Coffey was quite big. He's nothing compared to Walter. It looks like Jordan Devilin against them.
It's not only the size of Walter, but it's what them hands can do to your chest as well.
Well, this would be a huge upset. Talk about FA Cup or whatever it is, Walter to be knocked out here would be incredible. Can Joe Coffey prove everybody wrong here tonight? What a night it's been. Now it's main event time.
Walter coming out of the blocks with a big boot, but Joe Coffey, wise to that.
I think Joe Coffey's got to wrestle a different style. I really do. I think if he wants to beat Walter, he's got to try and do something that, not Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne, but use his speed. And in normal matches, he doesn't do that.
Well, in normal matches, he doesn't usually have the speed and agility advantage. But over Walter, I think he's going to be slightly quicker. But that's the only way that he trumps the big man.
I think Coffey can be happy because he has got victory over Dave Mastiff, of course, the Takeover. And that's not a good idea.
He just slapped Walter. He's looking for a sleeper, but a back suplex.
And Walter goes to the outside, and Coffey showing that this is his ring. And the fans are split about who to cheer here. Walter gets back on the apron, but Joe sends him off for a boot. And I'll talk about speed and quickness, and now Coffey on the apron. And comes flying off like a javelin right into Walter, sending him back to the barricade. We're trying to work the midsection, but Walter just turning it, just with a couple of huge shots to the face. Well, now rolls up, but you can see the mark on the back from Joe Coffey's offence earlier.
Oh! Walter getting sent back first into barricade. Coffey's having a run up. But no, Walter catches him, deposits him over barricade. But Joe lands on his feet, gives himself a bit of a run up, and comes flying over the barricade. Takes out Walter with a shoulder block.
Oh, Joe Coffey is just sacrificing his body to try and take out Walter. The referee's counting, and Joe doesn't want that to go down that way. And he sends Walter back in. Joe Coffey talking trash to Walter. And now Joe Coffey going down on Walter with the punches and then up, taking Walter down in the corner. And this is a surprise in the early going, but you got to maybe think Walter just taking his time trying to fill out his opponent, see what Joe Coffey's actually got. Oh my God.
Well, using the ropes for a bit of leverage. A nice belly-to-belly overhead suplex.
When he gets a 2.
2.
And Joe Coffey now at the moment seems to be quietly confident.
Well, he needs to keep on, Walter. He doesn't need to let him get anywhere near back into this match.
And again, he comes running in with a huge uppercut.
Upper what?
Now on the second rope. He's just quicker to the punch than Walter is at the moment.
Tornado DDT off the second. Into a cover. 1. No. Kick out.
You can just see the power still left in Walter as he managed to power off Joe Coffey. Just trying not to be lifted, grabbing the leg, but Coffey is not having any of it. Again, trying to suplex, but can't get him up. Ring General's not moving at the moment.
Coffey trying to get the upper hand. I think Walter's just too big.
A couple of huge forearms to the face, but Walter responded and won.
He's giving him a chance for Walter to get his breath back. Huge elbows, spinning elbow, suplex attempt.
Oh my word.
A delayed suplex. Slams him down. 1, 2, no.
Well, Joe Coffey couldn't keep him down. Walter managing to get the shoulder up at 2.
2.
And Joe Coffey showing the power that he's got. And now might be getting a little bit frustrated. He can't go and face someone like Walter if you haven't got a game plan. I showed Joe Coffey has. I went for the lower back and then chopped Walter. That's a good idea.
Oh dear. He's going to reap what he sows. Walter calling him out saying, come on. You think you can chop? Have another go.
And he does, and Walter just takes it.
He's giving him another free shot.
Oh!
Sounded like a gun going off. But Joe Coffey doesn't seem to be phased, or if he is phased by it, he's not showing it.
Well, he can't breathe now, but I don't think that matters to Joe Coffey.
No, his lungs are now on the back of his body.
Oh,
and another chop.
God.
Award for most punishment taken in a match, Joe Coffey's chest.
Well, at the moment, there's third chop that he hit.
Well, in all fairness, Walter did let Joe have 3 chops to him, so all's fair in love and war.
And the Ring General showing just how dominant he is at the moment. 4 shots like gunshot.
Jesus.
You can see the mark on Joe Coffey's chest on his back.
We're also happy to see, happy to get a count-out victory.
I think without doubt, I think he's not underestimated Joe Coffey, but Joe Coffey is a tough competitor, there's no doubt.
But coming back with some chops.
Just slammed down by Walter.
Oh, just jumps on his chest.
It's a senton, but Coffey gets his shoulder up at 2.
2.
But he's turned straight into submission now. Now Walter just grabbing the leg of Joe Coffey and twisting him up like a pretzel. And now there you go. Half Boston Crab. And then turns it around. The STO. And just wearing him out. Turns it into the crossface. Just different variation transitions after Joe Coffey managing to get to that bottom rope. And it is all Walter at the moment. Joe Coffey saying, bring it.
Do you not think the WWE Championship, WWE UK Championship is a bit too much of a mouthful for a title belt? No, Universal, Heavyweight, Intercontinental, US.
So this is like NXT UK's WWE UK Championship. Oh! Another slap to the chest. Just sent Joe Coffey about a half inch into the mat.
And Walter is dominant now, but let's not forget, Rev Pro have got a British Heavyweight Champion, like I said, represented in New Japan, Zack Sabre Jr. And of course, you've got the UK champ here, Walter. I wouldn't want to put Zack Sabre Jr. in the ring with Walter. I think that would...
Oh, Jesus Christ. The man's too pale for that.
I think he would just break his body.
I mean, with Joe Coffey, at least he's got a bit of sun on his chest. So it kind of... you don't notice it as much. But someone like Zack Sabre Jr. is really pale and it just... Oh, fucking hell. Cave his chest in, the poor man.
And now Walter just grabbing the hair of Joe Coffey, who's struggling in this match.
I'd like to see Walter chopping Sheamus. I think that would be a huge contrast.
Well, speaking of Sheamus, he just hit the 1 beat of the Finn Balor, I suppose.
2 beats of the Finn Balor.
Just a huge thud.
Elmer thud.
Fans shouting one more time. They do not like Joe Coffey.
Joe Coffey catching the 3rd attempt, though.
And Joe Coffey now with the forearms on the apron, desperately trying to fight off.
I think if I was in a match against Walter, my strategy would be arm bars, arm locks, and everything going towards the arm.
You've got to take away his strongest offense, which is that at the moment in time. The thing is, Walter hasn't got like spectacular finishing moves, sleeper and powerbomb. It's just the way he hits them.
But he catches him out and puts him straight into a Boston Crab.
And again, it's simple but effective. And he's been working on the lower back. And Joe Coffey screaming.
Back into the STF. Elbows to the jaw. Cravat now.
And that is beautiful. Wrenching the head of Joe Coffey, who's a million miles from the bottom rope at the moment, but struggling, trying to get along. And as he went to reach for the arm, Walter, being the ring general he is, pulled it back. But the fans are cheering for Joe to try and get to that rope. And he does and breaks the submission. Well, Walter looking at the referee. Not much else he can do in this one at the moment. He's been battering Coffey. Maybe Joe Coffey thinks his best bet is to try and let Walter punch himself out, which is a difficult game plan because of just how powerful Walter is.
Oh.
Just gets the arm, chops Coffey.
Just when you think your chest gets a bit of a break, he whacks another. Oh. I mean, if this was me in the match, I'd be tapping out after this many chops to the chest. But Joe Coffey still doing his best to fight back.
Now both men trading clotheslines. Now both run into each other. It's the immovable force versus the unstoppable object. Again, both men just run into each other. Two big Mack trucks. Waterloo showing a bit of agility. Goes for the big boot and catches him.
Walter with a suplex.
Well, goes for the cover, presses down and but only gets two.
And
now Walter trying to go for the sleeper and Coffey trying to block.
He's got Walter on his back. Oh! Just drops all his weight onto Walter.
Both men down now. And now what is Joe Coffey trying with Walter in the corner?
He's trying to get him up on his shoulders. Walter's fighting out as best he can.
Oh my God, got me an electric chair.
No, it has to drop him. And just shoves him in the back, face first into the turnbuckle.
And then just a huge clothesline. Now trying to pick him up, deadlift German.
Oh, plants it in the cover. No.
Well, somehow Walter got the shoulder up. But he doesn't look as good as he did 5 minutes ago. And Joe Coffey now gonna look try and put Walter away, which is easier said than done, seeing as no man has ever done it. And Joe Coffey's definitely brought it here tonight, and now he's gonna look to try and springboard up. Walter catches him, but Coffey manages to squirm out of it. And that is beautiful agility. Second rope, managing to spring up all the way to the top. Moonsault takes out Walter, but only gets a two. Incredible stuff by Joe Coffey. Never thought to say that. The agility of the big man. And now signalling maybe for the lariat, but Walter is there with a big boot to the face. But Coffey recovered and hit a clothesline. Trying again, spinning round lariat, but a chop. Woo! Coffey, but fires him up. Slap to the face. Walter with a powerbomb.
Plants him, rolls through to cover.
1, 2.
No.
Oh. Well, somehow Joe Coffey gets his shoulder up at 2. After Walter there had him beat and now has got the sleeper in. Looking to finish it. And Coffey, I think he'll tap out, but if he doesn't, Walter's making sure he's going to pass out. Coffey now managing to get to his feet, sliding Walter off him. Comes running in again with a spear, sending Walter to the corner.
Rolls out. Walter looking for a kick.
Oh my God!
Murders the referee.
The drop kick there, taking the referee out. Fans can't believe it. Well, the referee's dead.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, it's a great little sell, but he's not going to recover from that. And Walter now might be a little bit frustrated. But Joe Coffey with the punches. Picking up Walter with a powerbomb.
Rolls him up. 1, 2.
No, Walter's still kicked out with no referee. That's how unbeatable he is. And now Joe Coffey thinks to himself, hang on a minute. What can I do? Referee's down. And the fans chant for VAR as well. There's no sign of another official as of yet. And wait a minute, here comes Alexander Wolf. Big boot to Joe Coffey. And we talked about Imperium maybe not being here. They've been in the tag team match, but Alexander Wolf definitely is. And he's just helped out his partner. Looking to get Walter back up after the boot to Coffey.
Well, here comes Dragunov.
And the student and the teacher going at it. And a big knee by Dragunov, who looks absolutely pumped.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Well, they beat Wolf for no disqualification. And now, with referee down, looking maybe for the Torpedo Moscow. Comes to Wolf.
Oh, hang on a minute. He sent Wolf into the knee of Joe Coffey.
And Joe Coffey now holding that knee in serious trouble. Well, Dragunov trying to help. And now Walter up. Oh, my God.
And Dragunov down.
A clothesline fold him inside out. And Joe Coffey is just really struggling with that knee. And if Walter senses it or sees it, be like a shark smelling blood. And he does with a big knee, a big boot to the face. Taking Joe Coffey out. And Coffey realises he's in serious trouble. And sent head first into the steel stairs. Oh my God, but Walter's not finished. He's going to try a powerbomb.
Oh, onto the corner of the ring.
Well, much like Pete Dunne, Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, Joe Coffey feels the full force of that. Brings him back in. A clothesline to the face. Goes for the cover. No referee. One. Oh, here comes the referee now. Two.
Oh.
Oh my God, Joe Coffey managing to kick out. And Walter cannot believe it. The other official being taken out, Alexander Wolf on the apron, Dragunov taking him down. And these two men just fighting. All the way back, there's bad blood there. I don't think it's the last we've seen of these two. Walter now going to go up to put Joe Coffey away. We've seen him hit this before. But no, Joe Coffey up with a chop. Stopping Walter.
How did he manage to get back up?
Unbelievable. The punishment he's taken, you can see there.
Well, he's unable to climb the ring ropes to capitalise on Walter being dazed.
Well, how bad that is. And Walter now just chopping Joe Coffey. Oh.
And Joe, is he using that as motivation? Well, he was for the third one, just dropped him on his back. But no, Joe's up yet again.
And Joe Coffey, bad leg and all, has got Walter up. And he managed to belly-to-belly suplex him off the top. Can he get into the cover? And the leg is so bad he can't take advantage. And both men down. And this match is really heated up. And the fans definitely behind both men here. Tried to get to their feet. Joe Coffey's bought it, but now we're into the final stretch. What has he got left in his body?
Well, both men on their knees. Exchanging blows, kicks, punches, chops.
And a huge boot by Walter on the ground there, taking Joe Coffey down. Joe Coffey feeling the knee and trying to get back to his feet. And Walter now both up, trading forearms. But Walter goes low. Coffey still trying to work body. And now Walter trying to block it. Went for the chop. Coffey caught the arm. Huge right hand by Joe Coffey. And now again to the midsection. If you work the body, the head will come off. Punch after punch. Lefts and rights.
You don't want to get disqualified, though.
Walter staggered in the corner. And the referee making sure he doesn't get disqualified. Put him away, but it gave Walter a chance.
Well, just one kick to the knee drops Joe Coffey.
And it just takes out the leg there. Sliding kick, Walter going up.
Splash. 1, 2. No. Coffey managing to kick out.
Unbelievable. There you see Walter, a man of his size, shouldn't be able to splash off the top like that. All of his weight coming down. That's the move that beat Pete Dunne for the UK title. Squashing Coffey, but couldn't get the job done. Fans on their feet at ringside. And maybe Walter just can't beat Joe Coffey.
Well, Joe Coffey, he must have been training for about a year for this match.
Without a doubt, he's had that in the back of his mind. Bad leg and all. He's given everything he's got.
I'll give it all I got, Captain.
Walter cannot believe that Coffey's still on his feet. Now the ring general looking to finish off the Iron King. And it could be powerbomb time. No, Joe blocking it. Walter trying to pick him up for the powerbomb.
Joe trying to lift Walter over his head, unable to because of that bad knee.
Now Walter got Coffey powerbomb. No, Coffey lands on his feet. Lariat.
Discus lariat.
Spun, hit Walter, I think partially though. This one hit the target. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, no! And we were just seconds away from a new UK champ. Somehow Walter gets showed up at 2.
2.
Unbelievable. And Coffey now going to expose the elbow pad. And he realises this is his best chance. And the fans realise as well we could have a new UK champion that we were talking about. Here he comes.
No, Walter catches him. Locks in a sleeper. Drags him down to the mat.
And now he's turning it into the reverse chin lock. And Coffey's got nowhere to go at this moment in time. And that's better for Walter turning it round, transitioning. But Coffey's still on his feet.
Oh, if the chops didn't hurt him, that kick to the back did. And another clubbing blow and then just locks in that sleeper.
And again, chops the hands, got the head. And an incredible suplex folds him inside out. And now Walter looking to put Coffey away.
Hoists him up, powerbomb.
But he's not finished there.
Well, turns him over. Oh, chop to the back, loads him up, second powerbomb, turns him over into the sleeper.
Well, looks like trying to turn into a crossface as well. Joe Coffey is in serious trouble now, and he's got no choice but to tap out.
And still, your WWE UK champion, Volta.
Well, Volta wins then, but an incredible match, much better than we thought, Dan. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely, I didn't have high hopes for this match, but it certainly delivered. Joe Coffey, he brought it. And, I kind of like the little bit of interference, towards the latter stages of the match. Referee getting knocked out. No, sorry, the referee getting murdered.
Yeah, referee getting murdered.
And then a bit of interference from Alexander Wolf. Ilya Dragunov coming out to even up the scores. But basically, the man who saved him is a man who kind of possibly cost him the match as well.
I think there'll be a story told about that down the line. I think this is the end of, like I said, Joe Coffey as the main event talent, but as a kind of building a feud as a heel team, I think that would make sense. I think Imperium need a bigger challenger. I think tonight, with the trading of the power moves with Walter, that he could definitely go one-on-one with him. And like you said, I thought it was a really good match. If you two big men going at it, that's what you want. You want two big men trading moves, trading power bombs, clotheslines, and stuff like this, which they did, all credit to them. And you got to wonder if the outside interference might have gone a little bit differently. Would that have changed the picture? But I think a great match overall anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. Very good match on top of a very good pay-per-view.
Without a doubt, we'll get onto that in a minute. And, of course, we should say prediction-wise, it ends 3-2. Of course, I get the first pay-per-view win of the decade, or the first NXT.
No one cares, though, James. No one really cares.
No, but I think a great match, though, between two men. Like I said, Joe Coffey proved a lot of people wrong here tonight that he can go one-on-one Walter. And Walter showing that, maybe sometimes, the dominant champion will need help. But here come Imperium out as well.
Well, they was unsuccessful in their attempts at capturing gold earlier.
But you can see the ice on Eichner, Barthel and Alexander Wolf. But at least Walter walks out as NXT UK champion.
I do look like I'm part of Imperium, don't I?
You do. And Imperium are here, and they are dominant in NXT UK. And that is Paul's been about tonight. So Imperium rule, and we'll get on now. We'll talk about the rest of the card, because like we said, it was a very good takeover event. And oh, wait a minute!
Oh! Undisputed Era!
Well, the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong.
Coming the bones. I mean, Eichner and Barthel, they've been for a hellacious matchup, and so has Volta. Alexander Wolf's been hurt as well.
Oh my God, he just got taken out by Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh.
Barthel taken out by Strong. Adam Cole is standing in the ring, the NXT champ, with the NXT UK champion, and a huge NXT chant.
As Volta calling out Adam Cole saying, you want some, come get some. The rest of the Undisputed Era come in, and it's just a mauling tactics that we've seen a lot of times with these four guys.
Now Walter trying to fight 4-on-1. Big knee by Strong. Super kick by Cole.
The high-low by Strong and Fish.
Well, the American NXT have invaded NXT UK. The fans cannot believe it. And they are standing tall, is undisputed over Imperium. And what a way to end NXT TakeOver Blackpool. These two teams will collide at Wells Collide. And I don't think they're finished yet.
Well, they're trying to show that there's only one four-man stable in NXT. And that, James, is undisputed.
Well, the fans chanting that as Adam Cole talking trash. They've got Walter set up. Is this Adam Cole going to hit the last shot?
Boom. And that could be all she wrote come Worlds Collide.
Well, unbelievable, but Undisputed Era. What a crazy to end TakeOver Blackpool. Like I say, next weekend, Imperium versus Undisputed Era will be off the chart. Wow.
Off the Chisang.
Off the Chisang. What a way to finish. All right, let's run through the card then. And, of course, we've got a little bit of news as well to catch up on. So, first match, Dan, Trent Seven versus Eddie Dennis.
Wasn't the best way to start this card. It wasn't the greatest, most entertaining match. It was a good little warm-up. It wasn't a terrible match. And, it told a good story, but I think they told the wrong kind of story between student and teacher.
Well, it's a nice move to the outside, wasn't it, the powerbomb? That was all right. That was a good move. But like I said, Dennis get the victory over Trent Seven. Did we really need that to start us off at Takeover? I don't think we did. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. 3 out of 5 for that.
And then Kaylee Ray versus Piper Niven versus Tony. This was a great match from all 3 women involved. Definitely showing that the NXT UK women's division is as good as the NXT's one. And we definitely saw all 3 women putting it on the line. Of course, Kaylee Ray sneaking out with a victory. I know you thought Piper Niven would get it, but I think this sets up maybe a loser leaves town match with Toni Storm, and then Niven versus Kaylee Ray maybe at the next Takeover. But I gave that 4.25 out of 5.
I gave that a 4 out of 5. It was good, but it wasn't great.
Well, Devlin versus Tyler Bate.
I thought this was an absolute exhibition of a match. 2 very technically gifted wrestlers, both putting it all on the line, and I feel they didn't even give us everything that they could. You know, it felt like they was holding something back. Maybe for a rematch between these 2 guys, I don't know. But it was still fun, energetic, high impact, a few near-miss falls, and, eventually the right man winning. So it was a really good, all-round satisfactory feeling from that match.
Yeah, a good match between the 2. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I thought that was really good chemistry between the 2 there. Though.
Yeah, I agree with you, 4.5 out of 5.
And then we had Gallus, Imperium, Mandrews and Morgan Flash Webster and Grizzled Young Vets in a ladder match, which was off the chain. You talk about TLC matches from 20 years ago, and this one had everything that you wanted as well. It was incredible stunts. We saw the tables being used with the flip off the top, and Gallus surprisingly retaining. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Again, it was a crazy match. We saw a metal ladder getting snapped clean in 2. We saw, the spot where everyone's kind of up, jostling for position on ladders, trying to get the belt. All of them wanting it, and eventually it all falling apart and someone getting really badly hurt. As you say, we saw that amazing stunt on the outside through the table. That was fun. It delivered on.
Yeah, I gave that 5 out of 5. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. 5 out of 5 as well.
And then the main event, Volta versus Joe Coffey.
Well, this match, I think out of all of them, it was the one I was expecting least from. And it was the one that most exceeded my expectations. It was a very hard-hitting affair. I feel really sorry for Joe Coffey's chest and his back after getting them multiple slaps. Showed that it had to take a lot to put the game challenger down as well.
I completely agree. I thought it was a really, really good match and shocking way to end. My feeling is, and I'll come to the overall rating in a minute about this, but I gave it a 4 out of 5, the main event.
I gave that a 4.25 out of 5.
I feel with my rating for this match is that if we look back on it in a few months' time, have we really missed anything? And we didn't have any titles changing hands. And yes, there was a couple of cracking matches, but even the Undisputed Era getting involved, will that mean anything? Will Worlds Collide really make that much of a difference, in a few months' time? I'm not sure. What is your rating out of 10 and what are your thoughts on it?
I'm going to give that an 8 3/4 out of 10. I think it was hugely entertaining. It was a pay-per-view that I could watch again, probably skipping the first match.
Yeah, I think that would be fair to say. I'm going to give that an 8.5. Like I said, I don't think there's anything that we really would have missed if it had taken place somewhere else, So, for me, what a bad way to start. Not the best, I don't think, not the best NXT UK takeover, but still I think a very, very good show. All right, and the last thing, who is your man or person of the night, Dan? Something you came up with last year. Who are you going to give that to?
I think man of the pay-per-view goes to Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate, yeah. Well, I've gone Kaylee Ray just because of her performance and managing to come out as NXT Women's Champion. All right, so we're going to bring you the NXT UK results even from the 16th of January. And we open the show with a video recapping NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2. Before we get several still highlights of the matches. And our first match is A-Kid versus Joseph Connors.
Yes, they lock up before A takes Joe down and gets a quick 2 count. Off a backslide before they exchange and roll around on the mat. A-Kid kicks Joe before Joe hits a backbreaker into a neck snap for another 2. Before hitting a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. A-Kid catches Joe when he goes for a moonsault, locks in an armbar before transitioning into a triangle. But Joe powers out. He then hits the don't look down for the pin and the win.
So Joseph Connors defeats A-Kid. And then we go backstage to the officials trying to keep Tyler Bate and Jordan Devilin apart before we get an interview with Gallus backstage after retaining their titles.
We get a video recapping the split between Ginny and Jazzy Gabert before it's announced that Jazzy will be in action against Killer Kelly next week.
We get a recap of the UK Women's Championship Triple Threat match before we go to a post-match interview with Toni Storm.
Up next, we get another recap of Undisputed Era attacking Imperium before the 2 of the 4 competitors for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and that there will be 2 qualifying matches beginning next week with Ligero and Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks and the Brian Kendrick.
So our next match is Cassius Ono versus Dave Mastiff.
They have a lock-up and a test of strength that Dave wins before taking Ono down. But he's quickly up. Ono slaps Dave, who drop kicks Ono before hitting a scoop slam, and Ono sends Dave into the post before locking in a cravat. Ono hits a rolling senton and locks in another cravat before Dave hits a back suplex to get free, before dropping Ono and hitting several rolling sentons into a running back senton for 2. Ono counters into the void with a sunset flip for 2, before Dave hits a release German suplex and a rolling senton off the top. Dave then hits into the void for the pin and the win.
Yeah, so 2 matches that took place before the Takeover Blackpool taking place there. And of course, like we say, next week we'll bring you the UK results, because hopefully we'll have some build-up towards World Collide. Will be live Saturday and Sunday. And, well, there was one bit of huge news story. So we'll do the big, huge news story before we leave, because we just want to talk about it. And it's basically Impact Wrestling superstar Tessa Blanchard was accused of racism and bullying by women's wrestlers Alison Kay and Chelsea Green last Saturday afternoon.
Well, the accusations emerged when Blanchard sent a message from Twitter saying, "Hey women, try supporting one another. Cool things happen."
Kay will respond first by retweeting Blanchard's message and accusing her of spitting on a black woman and calling her the N-word during a time in Japan.
Well, Alison Kay said, "Remember when you spat in a black woman's face and called her the N-word in Japan? Was that you supporting Min?" The audacity of this tweet.
Well, Green was also retweet Blanchard's message, but the accusations she brought up were focused on Blanchard bullying and belittling her and other women in the industry.
Oh, she put, "You've constantly put down, bullied and belittled countless female co-workers, including me. Is that support?" Blanchard would respond to Green, claiming to have been nothing but nice to her and accusing her of making these claims for clout.
Yeah, Tessa Blanchard said, "I've never been anything but kind to you. I've dealt with mean girls since I started. Not saying I'm a saint. Hell, I've had my ups and downs and I've made silly decisions. Such is life. You have zero merit in your comments. Instead of putting me down here for a little clout, you got me." Blanchard would then send another tweet saying, "Well, not true. That seems to have been aimed at Kay's accusations of racism, though it wasn't made clear."
Well, she went on to say, "Not true. That's my statement, and the most attention I'll give it because of how ridiculous it is."
A women's wrestler Priscilla Kelly would come on to chime an experience with Blanchard last year when Kelly's spot for Suburban Fight went viral. Kelly claimed that Blanchard continued to other people going forward after making her initial comments about the spot.
Well, this is what Priscilla Kelly said. She said, "Remember publicly putting me down on Twitter last year for something that didn't involve you whatsoever, then continuing to drag my name to other people for it."
Well, as of now, the only wrestler who've come out in defence of Blanchard is fellow Impact Wrestling superstar Moose, who claimed the timing of the tweets from Green and Kay shows a lot about their character.
Well, he said, "I guess you and Chelsea Green are absolute angels with clean past. The timing of these tweets from you guys shows a lot about your characters."
Well, the accusations against Blanchard arose a day before she faced Sami Callihan in an intergender match for the Impact World Championship at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. But La Rosa Negra did respond to all this as well.
Yes, when I saw those tweets, I was in shock and impressed because since 2017, people have been pushing me to speak about something that isn't necessary. I don't like to talk about my personal life. I keep myself private. Reading all those fellow wrestlers' tweets that supported me and reading their names, it surprised me. Tweets from Renee Michelle, Sienna, Chelsea Green, Shanna and other female wrestlers about the comment made to me. As reading other non-wrestlers' comments, I said I have to do something because it wasn't how it says it was.
Well,
maybe people took it wrong. I don't want to be overexposed with this. Female wrestlers know what really happened and why I didn't say anything. I just want to clear things up.
Well, she said, "I respect my work everywhere about the comment. Then every female has to respect themselves is a right, but it didn't come from the right person. Working in the US and Japan, I didn't disrespect anybody. No female wrestler, promoters, sponsors or any fan. That's not me. People who know me know who I am, and the people I work for, NWA, Ring Warriors, Battle, Bombshell, Shine, Stardom, Marvelous, everywhere I've worked they can tell you how I behave. I don't talk to them like mean about people. You won't hear me talk bad about other wrestlers.
I was there to support me or didn't, because when you're part of this business, you focus on yourself, your work, and work with respect. I don't expect to receive any apologies. It's not necessary. I erased what happened. I gave it to God. I took it out of myself. It saddens me that racism, envy, and bad things exist in sports. It is always there. As adults, when something bad happens, we can resolve things by talking. There's always a solution. Mine was to forget what happened in that April 2017 in Japan.
Well, I think that's a good experience for me because now I know that I had a lot of backup. It's impressive. I didn't know so many people knew about the situation. Until the Twitter thing, I felt fulfilled and tickled. I feel good and I know I achieved what I wanted and nothing will dull everything I've achieved alone.
Well, she doesn't mention Blanchard specifically, but doesn't refute any of what is already out there, despite the phrase, it wasn't how it says it was, where whatever it refers to seems to have been lost in translation. If the scene with Tessa played out as wrestlers mentioned reported it, La Rosa's approach was to try and forget the incident until Blanchard's tweet telling women to support each other brought it back up.
Well, per Alison Kay, the first person to tweet the allegation, she was given permission by La Rosa to come forward. But has Tessa had the last word? Because she wrote her name in the pro wrestling history books at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, becoming the first woman to win a promotions world title. She defeated Sami Callihan in the intergender main event, wrapping up a year-long storyline that saw Blanchard rise to the top.
Her victory speech after Hard to Kill went off the air somewhat, addressed those rumours saying that she hasn't been perfect.
She said, no one in this life is perfect. We're all human. It doesn't matter what you call me. I've got one of the strongest minds that I've ever known. So wherever you come for me, you come for all these people.
Well, Blanchard, the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Tully Blanchard, wrapped up her speech by telling fans that she is now the standard bearer of the promotion. Man or woman, pound for best in the world, and I am now your world champion.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. We'll watch the match on our live show next weekend. But what do you think of Tessa Blanchard, this storyline at the moment? I say storyline, she's the world champion now, but these comments have come out. Do you think something should be done about this, or, is it just another thing of this going on again on Twitter?
I think because she's relevant at the moment, it's come out. I'm sure all these women knew what happened with Tessa Blanchard long way before this. But they've chosen, now that she's in the spotlight, to kind of highlight it. I think La Rosa Negra, or whatever her name is, she is kind of being the bigger person in all of this. She just wanted to put it down and push it away and say, look, it's happened, it's with God now, it's out of my hand. I'm focusing on myself, my career, I don't care what's going on. But, all this stuff, bringing it back up again, I think it's rude of everyone else.
Yeah, well, we shall see. We'll have probably a bit more news about this as well. On next week's episode. Like I said, we got next our live weekend as well. And of course, Saturday we are live at 10 p.m. for Wells Collide pre-show, which will bring you the women's title match as well.
And on Sunday, live at 9 p.m. for the Royal Rumble live kickoff.
Yeah, one of the best events, I would say, of the year. The Royal Rumble kicks into gear. And of course, we have our live weekends next weekend. But that is it for NXT TakeOver Blackpool. Just like to say thanks for everybody who listened to us and joined us. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WWE Network View or
at Vince McDan WWE.
I'm at J_Rowlands across all the Google platforms. Don't forget to follow us. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram as well as WNR Podcast. We're on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. Come and find our page and give us a like with a WNR Podcast, or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, WNR Podcast, where we got all the latest clips on there. Podcasts got same time on YouTube. We do our place like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
We're on Spreaker Radio. We've got our live shows next weekend. Stitch Radio and iTunes. We can download, subscribe, rate, and review there. But that is it. Like I say, I have been James Rowlands, and as always joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next weekend for the live shows. Bye.
Bye.